Hey everyone, this is George, and in this video I'm going to share my all-time favorite 10 Walking Dead covers. This could easily be a massive list because there's a lot of covers I love, but I've narrowed it down to 10. This list will include variant covers, but will primarily feature the main covers from the original series, so no covers from the deluxe reprinted series will be here, even though those David Finch covers are very cool. And be warned, there will be spoilers in this video for the Walking Dead comic book series, so if you haven't read the comics or watched the show, I'm urging caution here. And I'll also be sharing the trailer for my comic book, Zombie Deathball Mayhem, which is on Kickstarter, and the link is in the description of the video, so feel free to check that out if you want to. But number 10 on my list, this one is Michonne's Revenge. The Walking Dead is a grim series, and the covers always do a great job of foreshadowing the events within the comic, but I think Charlie Adler's cover to issue 33 is probably one of the most foreboding and probably the best example of this. So this cover is so incredibly interesting to me because we see Michonne's silhouette in the doorway, knife in hand, and she's moments away from utterly destroying the governor. In the events leading up to this issue, the governor had taken a special liking to Michonne and harmed her in many terrible ways. Michonne survived this experience and she returned to personally deliver her vengeance to the governor. In the following issues, the governor's rescuers would comment on everything she did to him and that they're shocked by not just what she did to him and the brutality of it all, but also by her precision, because she did it so precisely that it appears that she intentionally left him alive so she could come back and continue her work. But this cover is just so interesting to me because it teases all of that. It's just a really cool cover. Number 9 is Sleeping. Issue number 11 from artist Tony Moore is another one of my favorites because it just invokes a lot of fear. We see Rick, Lori, and Carl sleeping soundly in imminent danger as zombies found a way into their refuge and are closing in on them, and they're helpless. It's so easy to project yourself onto them and imagine how you too could be in their vulnerable position, blissfully unaware of the approaching danger. And Tony Moore's artwork is always highly detailed. I love how he draws zombies. It's just a really cool cover. Number 8 on my list is Abraham vs. Zombies. Issue 54 is a Charlie Adler cover featuring a POV of Abraham unloading his firearm into a swarm of zombies. There's nothing particularly exceptional here. I just really like how cool this artwork is. Number 7 on my list is the Bloody Arm POV cover. Issue 4 is another very cool Tony Moore cover, an awesome POV shot. I think what I like most about the cover is the POV angle of all the blood flowing down Rick's arm. I love how it implies that Rick has fought his way through countless zombies and has suffered grievous injuries, but he's still fighting and he'll keep fighting until the bitter end. It's just a really cool cover. Number 6 is the Zombie POV cover. Issue 9 is another fantastic Tony Moore cover, but what I love so much about the cover is that it's from the extreme close-up POV of a zombie who has Rick in its sights. I don't think I've ever seen a cover before or after depicted in this way, and it's definitely one of the coolest horror covers I've ever seen, and I absolutely love this cover. Number 5 on my list is What If Zombie Lori. The cover to issue 47 from Charlie Adler is as dark as they come, and for anyone who remembers in the series, well, that's saying something. The Governor arc was so dark, it actually seemed like Kirkman was ready to end the series right here with this arc. There was so much wanton death and destruction, and of all the covers depicting the tragic events playing out over the story arc, I would argue the most shocking and terrifying was the cover for issue 47, depicting a seemingly zombified Lori moments away from consuming her infant Judith. As far as I can recall, nothing before and nothing after came this close to disturbing me as much as this cover did. And it was actually after the events of the Governor arc that I took a break from the series because it was just so dark. I was literally saddened by the gruesome deaths of so many characters I'd come to love, but this cover posing the what if zombie Lori was my favorite and I think the most foreboding of all the covers in that arc. Number 4 on my list is Michonne's debut. Issue number 19 is from artist Tony Moore. So there are cool character cover debuts, and then there are cool character cover debuts. And I feel like this one knocked it out of the park. This cover introduces us to the incredible character Michonne in all of her sword-wielding glory. The cover screams, who is this mysterious character who is actually living in the open and traveling with a pair of zombies? I remember seeing this book on the shelf at a comic shop, but even back then I thought this cover was something special, and I've really come to love this cover even more over time. Number 3 on my list, Zombies Everywhere. Issue number 130 is a Charlie Adlard cover, and I just love the layout of this cover. You see the 2 survivors hiding in the mud from the swarm of undead a few feet away. I love that you clearly see their terrified expressions, and it's even worse because the survivors are in a small trench with rising water. No, it doesn't look like it's gonna drown them, but I'm thinking that they're thinking if a zombie were to fall on top of them, the slick money area would make it a death trap for them, because there's a strong chance they wouldn't be able to maintain their balance and flee while zombies are swarming them. It clearly shows how dire their situation is, and I think that the logo, which had recently been redesigned, especially complements this cover, allowing us to clearly see the art from both above and below the logo. I honestly think this is my favorite artwork from Adlard. Number 2 on my list is Rick and Carl versus hordes of zombies. This is actually the issue 1 variant cover from the 2013 Wizard World St. Louis Comic Con by artist Arthur Sudin. This one is something special and is nearly tied with the first spot for my favorite Walking Dead cover of all time. To me, this is the most epic Walking Dead cover ever. Sure, it has Arthur Sudin's signature style, which is already strikingly cool, but what I love most about the cover is seeing Rick and Carl fighting side by side against a horde of zombies. And even though it looks like they'll be overrun at any second, Rick and Carl look like they're holding the line and telling every zombie there, "You shall not pass!" And before revealing my favorite Walking Dead cover of all time, here's the trailer for my comic Zombie Deathball Mayhem. And my number 1 all-time favorite Walking Dead cover is Carl Goes to War. The Walking Dead issue 104 is my favorite Walking Dead cover ever. It's funny because at first glance, it just looks like Carl holding an assault weapon, but I was blown away by this cover when I first saw it. Carl had easily grown to become one of my favorite, if not my favorite character. It was terrible seeing all of the horrible injuries he'd endured, but he is a survivor and he's learned so much from everything that he's been through, and I felt this cover was kind of like the culmination of all of that. Here we see Carl taking charge, ready to go to war against Negan and his army for killing Glenn and hurting his family. So that's why issue number 104 is my all-time favorite Walking Dead cover. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to let me know your personal favorite Walking Dead covers in the comments section. And if Zombie Deathball Mayhem looks like something you'd like to read, you can find the link to the Kickstarter campaign in the video description. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.